As a creator, one of the big decisions you'll face if you're trying to sell some kind of information product like an online course, coaching, or a community membership is, should you sell that on some kind of marketplace or do you host it on your own platform? In this video, I'm going to help you figure out what is the best for you. Real quick on why you might listen to me. I've been in business for more than 16 years now. I've spoken to a number of successful creators about this idea, in addition to my own experiences. And to date, I've helped more than 10,000 creators build online knowledge businesses. So marketplace or selling on your own platform. To me, there is a very clear choice, but I'm going to lay out the advantages and drawbacks of each. So by the end of this video, you can make a decision on what's best for you. Okay, so I'm going to start with marketplaces, and I'm going to start with the advantages of marketplaces. I think that most new creators and entrepreneurs starting out, marketplaces are the first kind of thing that they think about. I know for myself, back in 2010, I believe it was, when I first started selling some kind of digital product, marketplaces are the first thing that I went to. What I would say is digital products like information products, online courses, coaching, community memberships, all of these are great business models because you're able to make a positive impact in the world, and you're able to do so in a way that not only can scale your income, but also scale that impact. So it's not limited to just your time like a service business. But you probably already know that. That's probably why you're here. So where do we put that? Do we put that on a marketplace or not? Now, marketplace has the clear advantage that generally it's free to join the marketplace. So you don't have to pay some kind of monthly fee to be a part of this marketplace. You can think of like things like stock photo sites. You can think of things like Udemy. You can think of even things like Amazon for physical products, right? That's one advantage. So like the startup costs are usually zero, especially for an information product. You list it on the marketplace and then hopefully sales come in. The second advantage that I think is probably one of the primary drivers for people being interested in marketplaces is the promise, whether it's real or not, that you can be able to just get sales on the marketplace because the marketplace is going to bring you customers. In general, for most big marketplaces, it is possible, and the marketplace should be providing you some kind of amount of customers. You don't have to get them all on your own. Now, that isn't to say that the marketplace is going to do everything. And when you see the most successful creators on a given marketplace, you've got to believe that they are putting in a lot of work to promote themselves in addition to whatever the marketplace might be bringing them. So you can get sales kind of almost on autopilot from something coming in from the marketplace, but it's not all passive, definitely. If you want to be able to make a full-time income from it, it's going to require effort and marketing on your part, even if you're on a marketplace. But you might be saying now, okay, if that's the case, if I can list for free on the marketplace and then the marketplace is going to bring me customers, why would I ever not sell on the marketplace? That seems like a no-brainer, right? Now, the first disadvantage of a marketplace is the fees. And you might say, okay, well, so fees are like the percentage of the sale that you have to pay to a marketplace. So the argument against that from the marketplace's standpoint is, well, you're going to have to pay fees anyway. No matter what you do, you're going to have to pay some credit card processing fee or something like that, right? Well, the marketplace is generally charging a very, very high fee. So that can range anywhere from like 8% up to like 10 or 30%. And in some cases, 70 or even 90%. Depending on the marketplace and what their involvement is and all of this. So there's a number of factors, and that is a very important thing to look into, because even when you get to a number like even 5% of your sales, once you start to actually make some income, even before you're at like the level of replacing a full-time income, the amount that you end up paying a marketplace can be really, really substantial. It can be significantly more than you would be paying for some kind of platform where you're able to sell your content on your own. I would also have you consider, before I get into some of the bigger points about why it's so important to make the decision carefully about giving away your audience kind of to a marketplace, is that marketplaces, because they're a race to the bottom, also are something that I don't feel is sustainable in the way that they exist today around the info product space. And so what I mean by that is if you look at things like Udemy and Skillshare. So Skillshare and this kind of product, first of all, I'll disclose I'm completely biased. Like I make money by selling a product that is a service that is not a marketplace to help creators earn a living online. But I can honestly say that the reason that I do that is because I strongly oppose this idea of the marketplaces and how they work and the incentives around the whole area. So platforms like this, what seems to be the case is that they spend a lot of investor money to go and get these creators to do some kind of deal with them, to have them promote the platform, to try to get people on the platform. And then when they get the people on the platform, then they try to get the creators on the platform, and then there's promise that you're going to earn this money as a creator. And so what happens is all of the things that I've described, but also if you consider the actual value, the actual thing that you can gain from being on these platforms, from the learner perspective, from the consumer perspective, a lot of these kind of marketplaces, like, it's not much better than just going on YouTube and finding the videos and finding the content, right? And there's a whole discussion to be had about that. And I feel that there is a very compelling value to online courses, to coaching, to communities, because it's not just the information that you're delivering some kind of transformation and result to your customers. And if you want to be able to do that at a high level, it's not going to be through some kind of $10 product. It's going to involve some kind of interaction with you. It's going to involve some kind of interaction with a community. So level 1 is the information itself. Level 2 is providing that information in a certain order to help the person reach a specific transformation. Level 3 is maybe making sure that that transformation is bigger and more powerful and more valuable. And then level 4 is the involvement that you have with the customer in that experience. And so the accountability that they get from you, from a community around the whole thing, and what you're providing in terms of the feedback they can get, the questions they can ask, and the access that they have to you directly in some way. So that's kind of the level at the product can go in terms of the value it provides, but marketplaces are typically in like that very bottom level. And so in today's world with AI and ChatGPT, marketplaces like don't make sense anymore for the level of quality, that the level of value that the products generally provide. For me, I can go onto ChatGPT and get a more personalized experience and just learn more than I would from these marketplaces. So why should you spend so much of your time to build a product that is a race to the bottom, that you're not able to engage or interact with your students and your customers, only to be potentially replaced by somebody just going to ChatGPT anyway? That to me would be I'd feel very bad as a creator if I invested all that energy into that. And now, that's not to say that you can't be successful with this, because I firmly believe you can. I believe you can be successful on the marketplace if you want to. I believe you can be successful without selling on the marketplace. And what I would have you consider is, because of all this AI world that we're in today, the value in online courses, the value in information products today is your unique experience and your unique message. And that's something that nobody can replace. So you can't go to ChatGPT and say, hey, what did Brian know about this? What's the thing that he would say about this and all that? It's not going to be able to provide that in the same way. Even if you tried to train your own AI about this kind of thing and offer that to people, that's an interesting idea, but in practice, it doesn't have all the knowledge about the way that you think and the way that you would approach something and all the experiences that led up to how you would do something and how you would instruct somebody to do something. So that's the value in these programs today. It's that plus the community and the connection that you can offer people. Now, that is so valuable that you can charge a good price for it. You shouldn't charge $10 for that. You shouldn't charge $20 for that. In fact, I would challenge most creators in most niches. You should aim to create a product that you're going to sell for at least a couple $100s. And so that's going to vary between niches and the actual value that you're offering somebody. So if you're offering somebody a transformation that's going to help them earn more money, or it's going to help them with their health in some way, like these kind of things tend to be higher value. And so you might be able to charge more for something like that, because the potential customer can understand that they're going to gain a higher value from potentially going to do that. If you're going to teach them something that's more of like a hobby, where it's really not necessary to them in any way, it might not be as high value, but still, I firmly believe you can sell a product for a couple $100s. And it's really difficult for you to be able to make a living when you're selling these like $10 products. I've talked about this a lot. I've made a bunch of videos about this in the past, that you don't want to sell these cheap products. Basically, the gist of it is that companies that sell cheap products are companies that are like soda companies, clothing companies, things like that. But you're not them, because they are really big and they have a very big lifetime value of that customer. So if you sell somebody like a soda for $1, wow, it's only $1, right? How can you make money off that? Well, think about how many sodas a lot of people have in their lifetime. And so is somebody going to go and buy your $10 course or whatever product that is, like thousands of times across their lifetime? time? If they are, then that's good. You've got a great lifetime value and maybe you can offer a cheap product. But in most cases, creators have 1 or 2 products, maybe a few, maybe 10 or so. And generally you should be selling those at a higher price. And instead of lowering the price, find ways that you can provide more value to justify that higher price. Anyway, back to the topic here. Let's talk a little bit about hosting on your own platform now. So we know why marketplaces are good and bad. Why is hosting on your own platform good and bad? Well, the good, first of all, is you own your audience. So what that means is when you get a customer, you can email them, you can communicate with them, you can offer them another product that you have in the future. So you really have the potential to grow your own business in this sense. With a marketplace, many times they're not your customers. They're the marketplace's customers and you have no way to really communicate with them. And because of the terms that the marketplace has, you're even sometimes completely restricted from being able to offer some kind of product of your own that is either outside the marketplace or even sometimes even in the marketplace. Plus, imagine something changes in the marketplace. Let's say that whatever I'm talking about the AI, these marketplaces and everything evolves and adapts, and there's a very strong reason for them to continue to exist and these lower cost products to continue to exist. Let's say that I'm wrong about that. But what if the marketplace changes some kind of term or changes some kind of distribution method or something like this, and all of a sudden your business kind of falls apart as a result? That is such a big risk that I feel like as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, then I don't get control over. I'm okay with taking risks, but I want to take risks where if something goes wrong, it's my fault and I have the ability to try to fix it. So on your own platform, you can do that. You don't have to worry about those risks because there's not some algorithm in the platform or something like this, or some kind of term that's going to restrict you from being able to do business. Another advantage of these self-hosted platforms, I would say, is the cost. Now, we talked about earlier with the cost of marketplaces, and actually that can be free to start off, but there's that hidden cost of the percentage that they're gonna start charging you once you start making money. And that is something that I would not want to deal with. The idea that you're telling me that I am trying to grow a business, but it's not under my brand, I'm growing the marketplace's brand, I'm growing their audience, and then so I have nothing to kind of show for it. I don't have my own website, I don't have my own brand behind it that I get to have long-term and grow. And you're telling me that I have to give them a percentage of my sales. So the more that I earn, I just have to keep giving them more and more and more. And that just to me is ridiculous. So with a self-hosted platform, you generally pay a fixed fee. There is always going to be some like credit card processing fees, but you shouldn't be paying the platform additional fees. Now, some self-hosted platforms do charge additional transaction fees. So I would say avoid those. If you work with Heights platform, the platform that I've built, we don't have any transaction fees on any of our plans. So you sign up to Heights platform, you pay that flat monthly rate. There's no hidden charges, no hidden fees. That's it. So if you earn more, you're still paying that same monthly rate. And to kind of illustrate this, let's say that you're on a marketplace and it's free, but they charge an 8% fee. Let's say you get successful with your business and now you're making $10,000 a month. Awesome. Congratulations. You're making this great income that you now have to pay the marketplace 8%. That is $800, not $800 per year, $800 per month. And so if you were on the self-hosted platform and you were paying $49 per month, and now you're earning $10,000 per month, you're still paying $49 per month. Now that is a big difference. One more thing I would say about a disadvantage for self-hosted platforms is that you have to do the marketing yourself. The customers are not going to magically come to you. You have to put effort into growing that brand and growing your business because you do have to grow your own audience. You're not getting it from the marketplace. To counter this though, I would say there are options to be able to grow with a self-hosted platform that you don't really get with a marketplace. One of those is the ability to have other partners and affiliates. And great thing about an affiliate versus a marketplace is marketplaces in general, you're getting exposure to their audience. So in a way, it's like an affiliate deal, but it's just a really bad one because they're kind of in charge of the terms, sometimes in charge of the pricing, and definitely in charge of what percentage they're going to give you. It's also mostly a passive relationship that you get some exposure to their audience, but that's it. Generally, with an affiliate or with a partner, when you're on a self-hosted platform and you partner with some other person who has an audience like yours, then you are able to negotiate the terms with them. And generally, they're going to actively promote your business and actively work to try to bring you customers. customers. And so that's one thing. That's maybe like the obvious thing that you would think of. There is another option though. And with a self-hosted platform, you can grow your audience over time through like things like social media. You can grow your audience over time through things like writing a blog, which is on your own platform, your own web presence. But there is also some newer concepts. So nowadays, there's things like ChatGPT. You could show up and get mentioned in ChatGPT. And actually, specifically in Heights platform, in our community feature, we released a feature called public community posts and public community pages. And what that means is if you have some portion of your community inside Heights platform that is free, the pages from that community can show up in Google and in ChatGPT. And this is designed so that, let's say somebody asks a question in your community and you give an answer to that. Now, instead of you just spending that effort just to help one person, that answer can potentially show up in Google. It shows up as a page where at the bottom of that page, you've got a link for people to be able to sign up to see more and join your program. And so the effort you now put in, even just to supporting your existing audience and your existing customers, can actually help to grow your brand and bring in more leads. And that's the kind of thing that is not really possible on a marketplace platform. It's not possible on most platforms, actually. Heights platform supports this, but the ability to even have options like this and options that may not exist yet in order to grow your brand is something that can be very valuable. So maybe one of the last things I would have you consider in this debate is what I think is one of the most powerful parts of this business model when you're selling some kind of online courses, coaching communities, is that you have the flexibility to change and adapt to what you prefer to do in your business and what you find works for you in your business. And I would be very cautious about giving that away, especially if you're brand new to this, because likely a lot of what you do will change and adapt over time. I know for me it did. I know for many of the creators I've worked with, it did. And so what I mean by that is you might start off with an online course and then find, you know what, actually this isn't for me. I really do love being more involved with everyone. So you might then turn that into like some group coaching program. Or maybe you say, you know what, actually I want to offer some kind of membership community. And as that changes over time, you want to have a platform that can support all of that. Generally, marketplaces are kind of focused on one specific thing, like selling digital downloads, selling an online course, that kind of thing. So you want to choose a platform that is not going to restrict you in that way. I would say that is really, really important. And that is part of the reason that I built Heights platform the way that I built it, to be able to cater to all these flexible business models, because every creator is different. Every creator has a different thing that they want to offer and a different thing that either resonates with them or is the way that they want to deliver their content and their products. And I will also say about this, in case you're wondering, in case you are new to this whole idea, there isn't one of those that's like infinitely better than the other or something like that. Every one of these business models works. It just depends on what you enjoy and what you want to do in the long term. And so because this is all digital, because you don't have to manufacture some kind of physical product or something like that, part of the beauty of this business model is that you are able to adapt it into offering these different things. So I'd have you consider that a self-hosted platform, which will allow you to adapt and change very quickly, is the kind of thing you want to go with. All right, so I've been kind of leaving it out here until the end, but as I kind of mentioned here, and if you haven't been able to tell already from the channel, I am the founder of Heights platform. I ended up building my own platform after trying all these things, after starting out in marketplaces, because I wanted to build the solution that offered me what I wanted as a creator and what I believed other creators would want as well. And fast forward from when I started that, I've now helped more than 10,000 creators do that through Heights platform. So Heights platform is a platform that is a self-hosted platform. You have your own brand, your own website. You can have your own domain name. You don't have to show the Heights logo anywhere. It's completely white labeled to your brand name. And what is great about this is it is a fixed monthly fee. So it starts at as low as $19 per month if you want to get started with that. There are no transaction fees on any plans. So you keep all of your earnings. More importantly, even like it's connected directly to your Stripe or PayPal account. So unlike a marketplace that's going to hold your funds, decide when to pay out, decide to refund customers maybe on your behalf even, you are in control of this. It's really your business. And so you get paid directly by Stripe and PayPal. Heights never touches the funds. It goes directly to your account. And you have the flexibility to build build the kind of business that you want. So if you're building a website and then you want to have a community, if you want to have a coaching program, if you want to have digital downloads, if you want to have courses, challenges, masterminds, like all of that, you can structure the business the way that you want, and you can grow it over time. And over time, you're building this asset that is your branded website and your community and your audience, and you're fully in control of that. So that's what I would choose. If you're interested in trying it out, we have a completely free 30-day trial at heightsplatform.com. There is no credit card required. You get access to all of the features, including Heights AI Chat and Heights AI Coach. We're the only platform that provides you with your own AI assistant and AI coach to help you actually move forward and grow your business so you can focus on creating and don't have to worry about the technical side of the whole thing. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to learn more about growing an online business, please remember to like and subscribe.